lot of fun with the World War II airborne expansions when they came out a few months back, and there's a video that I did playing some of those. And I was really looking forward to the US Airborne expansion for Warfighter Modern as well. Now, there's a few things that make an airborne mission, and those are the mission itself. It's designated as such. And these two decks here, the landing zone and the enemy lines decks that come into play during your game. The way it works is on the first turn of your game, you draw a landing zone card. It could be anything from blown off course to neck deep in mud. And then on each subsequent turn, you're going to draw an enemy lines card, and that represents the risks of operating behind enemy lines cut off from the normal support that a military unit might have. And then you have to have some kind of delivery method, some way to get from the airplane to the ground. And in this case, we have a parachute. The World War II decks had parachutes and gliders in them. This one just has the parachute, though I can foresee something like rappelling lines being added in future expansions as well. And it affects things like your loadout or other mission parameters. In fact, the parachute here, it's zero cost because every soldier on the mission has to have one. And it's got a loadout value of 2. And it says that soldiers may not start with any gear with a 5+ loadout or any explosives except for up to 3 grenades. Now, for my mission, I have chosen a windy drop. It's got a resource value of only 29. It's got a time of 9 turns, and the objective is in location number 3. It does have a loadout of +2, so that could help. It won't in this case because we're not carrying a lot of gear. Now, for my objective, I've chosen to capture the VIP objective. Both this mission and the objective come in the US Airborne expansion. Everything that I'm using is either from the US Airborne expansion or from the Warfighter Core set. I'm using the Insurgent Hostile deck for the Middle East from Warfighter. These are Middle East objectives and missions. Now, for the Capture the VIP mission, I have to inflict a hand-to-hand hit against a cover 2. And we'll go over how hand-to-hand works if I'm fortunate enough to get there. And the hostiles here will screen this VIP that I have to capture. Now, I only had 29 points, and so I built a 3-man squad. They're not kitted out like I would for a longer mission. I've just got 2 squad soldiers and a player soldier, but I'm optimistic about it. And I'll introduce them as well as we play, except for one I want to go ahead and introduce now. He's a squad soldier, and the reason I want to do that is because of the skill that he has. Vega comes in at a cost of 6. He has move and cover values of 2. But he has the unlucky skill. What that says is that every time you draw an enemy lines card, so from turn 2 on, you roll a die. If you roll a 2 or less, you're going to draw a second enemy lines card. So that's printed on the soldier's card. That's the only way you can have it. But it definitely affects the way that the mission could go, or it could. I haven't played with an unlucky card yet. I have played a couple of airborne missions for the US expansion, for Modern so far. And that's the only thing really special about starting this off. We don't have a lot of gear to worry about. Now, for our windy drop mission, it says at the start of the first turn, every soldier must either discard 2 loadout worth of gear, suffer 1 suppress, or suffer 1 wound. So we're likely going to start the game suppressed because I don't really have the wounds to spare. Though that is certainly an option on a short time mission. You could take the wounds instead of suppress if you wanted to get it over with quickly. I think that 9 turns is going to allow us enough time. I'm more concerned about the hand-to-hand getting in there. But even there, I think the potential for success is present. So that being said, I'm going to draw my starting hand of 6 cards. So after I draw my starting hand, I draw, for the first turn, I draw a landing zone card. Now this landing zone card says, hard landing. Non-player soldiers and squad soldiers cannot move on turns 1 and 2. That's going to hurt. I'm going to put that up there against the counter. That could be problematic. And then due to the mission, I'm also going to suppress every one of my soldiers. So we are starting off with the cards stacked against us, so to speak. I could just burn through the first couple of turns, but I'm not going to because I drew a location card and I like it. It's Ruins. It takes 1 XP to play. And I'm going to take that XP from my player soldier, who I'll activate now. The first thing I'll do is unsuppress him. Now my player soldier is Crenshaw. He's only 15 points, but he has the marksman skill. He's got a health of 6, so that gives me my hand of 6. And his cover's 2. He's +0 in hand-to-hand, which is going to matter. And then for gear, he's only carrying a K-bar knife and an M9 pistol. I took the K-bar knife to assist me in my hand-to-hand attacks. And I also took the pistol because of the limited amount of points that I have for this mission. I'm right in at 29 points. No way about it. No way around it, rather. Now, because he has the K-bar knife, Crenshaw gets 2 XP. And I'm going to use one of those XP to play the Ruins location. Now, it's free to play. Might go over. I didn't see it, but it won't matter. I'm going to draw it anyway next turn, or next time I discard control. So I play 1 XP to play it, and it has a hostile value of 3. So I'll draw my hostile and cross my fingers. So the first one is Refugees. It says pay 2 XP, or you cannot attack hostiles in this location with auto or explosion attacks. I'm not going to use any auto or explosion attacks, so I will not pay the XP for it. And then that's 1 XP value. And then I have a light machine gunner is the next card. He is screened by the gunman hostile if they're in play. They're not. And he has a penetration value of 1 and cover 4. So my soldiers, my squad and non-player soldiers, cannot move these first 2 turns. That doesn't prevent them from fighting. One of the things I liked about the Ruins card when I drew it is the reinforcement value is none. So theoretically, all I have to do is take out this gunner, this machine gunner, and then make our way to capture the VIP. So it could go easy. It's still going to take us a few turns to get there, and that means we're going to be drawing enemy lines cards, because I am not going to go with just my player soldier to the objective. I'm going to have to get on it to do the capture. So that being said, I will go ahead and I have 1 soldier who can make 1 range 1 attacks. And he's got 1 action left, and that is Vega. Vega is my unlucky soldier. Now I haven't used unlucky yet because I haven't drawn an enemy lines card yet, but I'm going to hope I don't forget to do that. So he needs a 7 to get a kill at range 1 because he currently has both of his 2 wounds. And so I'm going to go ahead and spend his action to make an attack against the light machine gunner. Alright, so that will suppress the light machine gunner because I got a kill, but I didn't get through his cover. So there's a suppress on him, so he's not going to harass us this turn. So that leaves me a little time to maybe plan ahead, plan for cards that might be coming up, or that I might need. Combined fire I have is good, snapshot is good, about as good. So I'm going to spend that other action from Crenshaw to discard 2 to draw 3, because my hand size is 6. I only have 3. Now that is going to end my soldier turn, because I don't have anything else I can do due to the fact that my squad soldiers are still picking themselves up off the ground. And that moves us into the hostile phase, and this is where we would reinforce locations. Right now I don't have anybody in a location that reinforces, so I'm going to skip that phase. Hostiles would attack unless they're suppressed, and then they close range if they couldn't attack unless they're suppressed, and then you remove a suppression token from each hostile. So we're back to square one. We're going to start at turn 8. Now at the start of the turn in an airborne mission, after turn 1, you draw an enemy lines card. All right, this says out-of-date intel. This says move the objective card one location because it's beyond its current location, and each soldier gains 2 XP. It also says you would ignore this if any soldiers were on the objective card. So we're going to back that location up a little bit, but in return, we're going to get 2 XP. And I'll take XP. That way I can upgun things as they come along. Each soldier, not just player soldiers. And now because Vega is unlucky, I'm going to roll on this table here, on his card. And if I get a 2, a 1, or a 2, I'm going to draw another enemy lines card. And I got a 2, so I'm going to draw another enemy lines card. This one says no cover. So in this location, which is the objective, suppressed results count as wounds, as a 1 wound instead. And that might matter if the machine gunner makes an attack. Alright, so there we are in the start of the turn. Except I need to roll again because this is every time you draw an enemy lines card, roll a die. So I'm going to roll again. And I'm going to draw another enemy lines card. Alright, this says slowing down. Soldiers must play a location card this turn and pay 2 XP or advance the timer by 1. Now that is unlucky. Alright, so I got a 3 that time, so I'm out of location cards I have to play. That was crazy for enemy lines cards. 3 enemy lines cards. Now if I don't play a location, I have to advance the counter by 1. I have a location, but I really don't like it, so I'm not going to play one yet. Instead, I am going to have Vega take a shot at the light machine gunner. He needs a 7 to get a kill. No, they're at range 1. Yes, he needs a 7. If he was at range 0, he'd need a 5. Okay, so a 4 won't get it. Or rather, the 3 won't get it. But a 4 does surpass his cover, and that will do a suppress. Now Vega can't do anything else, so I might as well attack with him again. So I'll roll the die. And again, nothing. So that machine gunner is going to remain in play unless I want to move in and get him. And I could do that with my player soldier. Crenshaw has 2 actions, and he has not used them yet. He could move, and he's got to, I'm going to have to discard 2. Move into that location. And I think I'm going to do that next. No, I am. I'm going to spend 2 cards to move into the location. I forgot to draw to see who the light machine gunner will attack when he does attack. So that is soldier number 2. His squad soldier Sharp. He will be the target of the machine gunner if we let up on the suppression. So 2 cards discarded to move Crenshaw in. But I'm going to move him in instead of spending an action with a move out card. So that leaves me 2 actions while I'm still there with the machine gunner. Now the action cost to enter hand-to-hand combat here is 2 actions. Or I could just take a shot at him with my pistol and maybe another shot at him with my pistol. I think I'm going to spend the 2 actions to move into hand-to-hand combat because even when I'm in hand-to-hand combat, I can use my pistol. So if the knife attack doesn't work, if I need to, I can use the pistol. And I'm going to do that since he doesn't have to worry about being attacked this turn unless there's some kind of enemy alliance card that affects things. So that means I'm going to have to advance the mission counter by 1 because I'm not playing this open field location. So we are now stuck. There is nothing that Sharp can do. He sprained his ankle, but he's getting better at this point. I'm prepped for hand-to-hand combat if it comes up. Alright, so I'll enter the hostile phase and I won't reinforce. No attacks or moves, and then I'll remove that suppression token and enter the next soldier turn. Now 2 turns have passed, even though it's cost me 3. Which means now my squad and non-player soldier cards can move. So that opens things up a little bit. And I am going to begin with the same idea, except I'm going to have Vega move in by discarding 2. I guess I could have draw him first, but I want to see how this goes before I commit to action with Crenshaw. And then Vega will make an attack at range 0, which means he needs a 5 to take out this hostile. He did not exceed the cover. 34 is nothing to sneeze at. So now I am going to have to use an action for Crenshaw to draw. I have 1 card, so I get to draw 5 more to my hand size of 6. And so we're going to be sitting here a little while because I did not draw a location card. I'm going to come back to Crenshaw because now I'll activate Sharp, who Sharp has 3 actions. So he has his value. And when I do activate Sharp, I'm going to play an advance card and upgun it so that I can play when any soldier is paying an entrance cost to add 3 to his movement value. So I'll take that XP from him since he has the most and move him in for the cost of an action. No, I won't use an action. I'll use a move out card and upgun that again so he can move. And so without spending any actions, I've been able to move him from there for the cost of 2 cards. And then he will make an attack against the machine gunner. Now he needs a 7 to attack. He gets through his cover, but he does not succeed at the attack. He does have 2 more actions remaining though, so we'll attack again. Alright, 1 action left for Sharp, and I'm just gonna throw a grenade at that machine gunner. It's overkill, but sometimes that's what you need to get the job done, I guess. So the grenade is 4 dice for the attack. It's got penetration 1, so that would have gotten through 6 cover, and it needs a 6 to kill. So I'm not even going to roll the other die because that will take care of that machine gunner who was causing me to burn through so many turns. Or the way I've reacted to him has caused me to burn through so many turns. And that's going to leave me with Crenshaw with 1 action left. And with that action, I'll discard 2 cards to draw 4 cards. And I got a location, so that's good. The Catwalk. An XP and an action to play, but it's not high on hostiles. So we'll go ahead and go into the hostile turn. This doesn't reinforce, so we're okay there. And that will end the hostile turn. We will go away. Hard landing is no longer in effect. And at start of turn 5, I'm going to draw an enemy alliance card. This says they're flanking. Roll twice for each soldier. On a 5 or less, no effect. 6 to 8, the soldier suffers 1 suppress. On a 9 plus, the soldier suffers 1 wound. Now that would be bad if we were in the objective because it has no cover, but we're not. So for Crenshaw, he suffers 1 suppress, 2 suppresses. For Sharp, nothing, and nothing. So Sharp is good. And then for Vega, nothing, and nothing. So only Crenshaw is affected by that. But now I have to make my unlucky check because Vega's with us. He's a bit of a Jonas. So I don't have to draw another enemy alliance card. That's good. These enemy alliance cards can be really bad. Where's like the lemonade stand, behind enemy alliance card? Something like that would be nice. All right, so I'm sitting here. I have this location in hand. It's a Catwalk. It costs 1 XP and 1 action to play. I will take both of those from Sharp to play the Catwalk. It's got a hostile value of 2. Oh, wow. And the hostile is a leader. He is screened by 0 to 1. He reinforces 0 to 1. If he's here, I'm going to reinforce anyway is what that means. And he inspires, which means you remove more suppress. And he's going to target Crenshaw, which means he'll move. Oh, no, Crenshaw's in range. So we only have the 1 hostile to deal with. And I like this Catwalk because it doesn't reinforce either. The problem is I'm running out of time to get there. So I will spend an action for Vega to take a shot at that leader, and he'll hit him on a 7. His cover is 5. That's pretty good. I guess downright impossible. Unlikely anyway. So instead I'm going to use that action to have Vega move. His move is 2. So I'll discard a stealth attack to pay the cost to move him there. And then, just like last turn, I'm just going to throw a grenade. I don't have time to be blowing through these things. So a grenade is penetration 1. So that does not get past his cover, but it does suppress him. Wow. That just didn't work out. Alright, so let's go ahead and have him throw his other grenade. I have a snapshot, so I need to pay 1 XP to upgun it so any soldier can perform an attack, thus spending an action. It doesn't say a ranged attack. So I'll be able to spend this other grenade to toss at that leader. Unbelievable. I'm not getting past the cover. That's pretty much going to shut us down for the rest of this turn. I'm going to spend 2. I'm going to pay 2 cards to have Sharp move in. And he'll get to make an attack against that leader. He's got 1 action left because he spent 1 of his actions to play the location. So he needs a 7. And he got it. He got through the cover and a 7. So that leader is gone. And that's 2 XP for Sharp. Alright, so we have no hostiles on the board. When we go into the hostile phase, we don't reinforce any of the locations that we're in. And we advance the timer. We have 4 turns left to complete our mission. And Crenshaw, the guy I'm counting on to complete the mission, is lagging behind. And now we will draw our enemy lines card at the start of that turn. This one says, Long Treks. Increase the entrance cost of all locations by 3 for the remainder of the turn. And then let's see how Vega fares. We don't have to draw another event card or a behind enemy lines card for Vega's unlucky. So that's good. So what I think I'm going to do is use an action from Crenshaw to take a draw action. What I'm going to do here, I think, is activate that location. Rather the objective, not the location, and deal with the hostiles that come out. Because it's only 1 XP worth of hostiles for this location. So we'll draw, so anything we're going to keep. It's a suicide bomber, attack range 0. He is going to target Crenshaw if we can't take him out sooner. Fearless, and he's penetration 3. Now, fortunately, I've got a couple of opportunities to get rid of him, and I'm going to take that now with Vega. We'll make a range 1 attack. I'm going to play a steady aim card, which lets me... No, I can't play steady aim because that doesn't let me upgun it for a soldier. I'm going to make a range attack against that suicide bomber. So I get through with a 5 or 4 on his cover, but I get a 1 or a 4 for my attack roll, so that will not kill him. So I'm going to attack again. And that'll do it, and we'll just get him out of the picture. That's 2 XP for Vega. When I first started playing this, I used to not keep track of the XP, but then I found myself unable to upgun. It's not that I didn't keep track on purpose, I just forgot. I try to be pretty aware of it now. Alright, so it's going to take 1 action to enter close combat there. I am going to discard 4 cards to move Crenshaw for that last action. And then I don't have an extra card. I will end my turn. We don't have any hostiles to worry about again because there's no reinforce going on. Now, once I get here, this reinforces. So I'll advance the timer. We've got 3 turns left to complete this mission, and I will draw an enemy lines card. Exposed positions. Play 2 XPs or hostile gain +2 on attack and defeat cover rolls targeting soldiers at this location. I'm going to go ahead and pay the 2 XP because I have plenty. I'll take that from Sharp, who's got 4 currently. And then let's check and see how Vega's luck holds out, and it does with that 6. And that gives us a couple of turns to act. Alright, so I am going to need Miracle. I'm going to need to move Vega in, or Crenshaw in. I will discard the Steady Aim card to pay the entrance cost of 3 because my move is 2. And then I'm going to spend my other action to engage in close combat with a hostile. And that's going to be the end of my turn. Unless I do something with those other soldiers. And I won't. I will. I will have... No, because I want to hold on to this. I have a suppress card in my hand. And I want to hold on to it for this hostile turn. I need to use that to pay the entrance cost. So I'm going to abstain from that and enter the hostile phase. Now I do have reinforcements, so I'll draw them. Reinforce 0 to 3. I got a 1. It's the ubiquitous gunmen who come up. And they're going to screen the VIP that I need to target. And they're going to target Vega. Yes, he is unlucky. And then they're going to make their attack against Vega because they attack at range 0 to 1. They'll miss on a 3 or lower. 4 to 7 will do a wound. And 8 or better will do 2 wounds. Alright, so a 4 will defeat their cover, or his cover, of 2. And that would do a wound as well. But I'm going to play the suppress card. This says play after you or any soldier. So I'm going to upgun it with 1 XP from Vega. Roll a hostile cards attack. Discard 1 ammo from a weapon or 1 expendable that can attack the hostile. So I have a pistol that has 2 ammo. So I can discard that because they did range to attack the hostile. Cancel the attack. So a little well-timed fire from the M9 keeps their heads down for this turn. And then I will advance the timer. I'm now down to 2 turns. But remember, I am engaged with the VIP, so I don't have to spend actions to do that again. So the first thing I'm going to do is spend an action to draw. I do 2 locations. When I need locations, I don't draw them. When I don't need locations, I'm location rich. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Sniper Support, paying 2 for it, because it's support 2, so that means I discard 2 cards to play it. And then once each soldier turn, I can attack a hostile with a value of 0 or 1 and inflict 1 kill. I don't get any XP for it, but I get rid of a hostile for it. And then I'm going to have Vega. I didn't draw an enemy lines card. So before I do that, let's draw the enemy lines card. This is an ambush. I roll for each soldier. 7 or less, no effect. 8 or better, they're wounded and roll again. So for Crenshaw, no effect. For Vega, no effect. And for Sharp, he is wounded and I roll again. No effect. So Sharp has been wounded, which means he's down to 2 wounds and now he only gets 2 actions. But that's alright. It could have been worse. Let's see if it is. I'll roll for Vega's unlucky, and his luck is holding out. Now back where we were, the sniper puts a wound on the, or a kill on the snipers, for the gunman. And now Vega will make his attack. against those same gunmen. He will suppress them, which means that Crenshaw can now capture the VP. So to capture the VP, I have to make a hand-to-hand hit against him. He's got cover 2 for that purpose. And I have a K-bar knife, and I'm going to make a strong attack with it. Now the way that works is the RS means I roll 1 die for the attack. The ST stands for stumble. And so if I roll a 1, then I'm suppressed. And the P there is penetration value, I'm -2. So I need a 4 cover roll and a 7 to hit to capture the VIP. So I'm going to make that roll now. Alright, so I got through his cover, but I don't hit him. Alright, so that means that we can use more time next turn to get him. Oh, that 0 to 3 reinforce pretty much means we're going to be reinforcing next turn. So I'm going to spend 1 card, or 1 action, and 1 card to move Sharp into the objective as well, so he can take on those gunmen. Now he needs a 7 to get the attack, so we'll go for it. Oh, we got through the cover, but we didn't succeed. However, I have a snapshot, and so I'll upgun that from Sharp to make another attack. It's not going to happen, so in the hostile turn, you're going to have to reinforce. And it's gunman. It's horrible gunman. I see now what I should have done. Shark still has a grenade. These gunmen will target Vega as well. And they'll make their attack against him. On a 4 to 7, they'll wound him, and 8 up straight, they'll kill him. However, they did not get past his cover, so instead Vega is suppressed. And then I will remove a suppression from the gunman and go into the next turn. This is the last turn, so what I have to do is kill or suppress all the gunmen and then make a close combat, a successful close combat against the VIP this turn, or I lose the game. So what I'm going to do is unsuppress Vega using one of his actions. And then I'm going to have Sharp use his grenade on those guys. It's 4 dice. We'll start with 3. Wow, so we do penetrate. We don't do a kill yet. We don't kill, but we do suppress both of them. That's good. Sharp has 1 action left, and he'll make a regular attack against the other gunman, and that's a kill. He needed a 7 to hit and a 3 to get past their cover. So those gunmen are gone. And Sharp gets 1 XP. Good job, Sharp. And now all that is left to do is secure the VIP. I'm already in close combat. I play those action costs, so I can use both my actions for this if necessary. So what I need is a 4 on the cover roll and a 6 on the D10. So this will be to capture the VP, a hand-to-hand combat attack with a K-bar knife. And that will do it. So we did capture the VIP. I didn't think it was going to succeed. It wasn't looking great. And so that's a victory. And I'll take it. Any victory is better than no victory. And that's essentially a look at the Airborne deck. I think we got to see a lot of enemy lines cards, thanks to Vega's bad luck, even though we only had 2 or 3 locations. I'm very happy as a player, as a consumer or customer. I like the Airborne deck a lot. I really liked it a lot for the World War II set as well.